What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm kind of like in a little semi-middle of nowhere region in Queens, but it's for a good reason because I'm going to explore one of Queens' most affluent neighborhoods. It's a small neighborhood, but it's called Malba, which I've never been, but I've seen videos of it, and it's a little bit towards the other side, so I had to take the train and the bus to get around here. So I'm going to start walking towards that neighborhood, and it's pretty wealthy. It has like nice houses, nice well-paved streets. So like I say, it's not too big, but I'm really excited to see what's going on. And I think it's by the waterfront. You can see the view of the Whitestone Bridge that divides Queens with the Bronx. So without further ado, join me. Here's like mostly like a highway. 678 is down here and it'll take it to the Bronx. I'm gonna make my left over here. If I walk straight over this way, it should take me towards that neighborhood. And this is crazy because it feels like I'm literally like in a highway of a suburban United States. But this is actually Queens, New York. And like I said many times, Queens is actually big and it has a lot of neighborhoods that makes it feel like if you're in Jersey, Long Island, upstate New York or Connecticut. Like while we walk around here, it's the highway 678, and then they got this all over throughout the United States. Extended stay America, so it's like a hotel out here. I guess it's one of those budget hotels that they got in the States. It's all over the United States. So you can stay around here, but I think if I walk 10 more minutes, I should be entering the neighborhood of Malba. So I'm really excited to check it out. And this neighborhood is actually really far from me, but hey, I made it possible, you know. Right now we're going through a heat wave, but it cooled down a little bit. I got frozen water in my backpack, so let's do this. So now I'm officially entering the neighborhood of Malba. This is like the intersection of Whitestone Expressway with Malba Drive, and wow. So far ahead of me, I gotta tell you, it's looking actually beautiful. The way how the streets looks like, the sidewalks, the oak trees, the house. Look at this house piled up all the way there. But I think if I walk a little bit more ahead, it's gonna get actually nicer. Like I say, the neighborhood's not too big. It literally goes like around in circles. But we are in for a treat today to explore another side of New York City. So here you got it. The house have gates. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Diker Heights in Brooklyn, New York. There's some beautiful townhouses over here. Also resembles a bit of Jamaica Estates in Queens. So I'm gonna figure which way I should walk. Oh wow, ahead of here, I'm starting to see some really gorgeous houses. Look at this house, how nice it is, wow. But there's two over there in the corner that they look pretty beautiful. Then over here should be an intersection, and in the corner I see this massive house ahead of me, but then over here there's another one with a reddish color that I think it should be pretty nice. So they got houses of all sizes, you know, from semi-small to big ones. I don't think I'm ever gonna live in a big house like this, but I love to walk around and admire the beauty of it. So look at this house here in the corner, 11th Avenue, it's nice. Then it keeps going over there, and I love how they have like a lot of trees. Then there's an intersection over here, so I gotta figure where's my next walk. Now I'm crossing the street, gonna keep walking around here. It's kind of like a vibe of a small town. You can see how beautiful this house behind me is with a reddish color. And this one here in the corner, look at this one. It's pretty nice, like with his front entrance and everything. It's like every single street here is pretty worth to walk. Wow, I see a beautiful house ahead of me, so damn it. Every single area that I look is gorgeous. You see how wide the roads are. I think I'm gonna go that way and then merge to the left, but I want to show you like these mansions over here. Wow, look at this house. Look how big and massive this is. This is beautiful, wow. And this is like a hidden gem out here in Queens, you know. Like you got the highway, you know, a couple of neighborhoods like Whitestone and College Point, but it's really peaceful and quiet out here. Pretty nice. Look at these houses over here. These houses are amazing, and I like how they preserve the sidewalk. Then across the street, those are nice houses, but you get them like in many other neighborhoods, especially like in the suburbs, you know. Resembles a little bit of some areas like in Bergen County, New Jersey. Then look at this, wow. This house is beautiful, man. The entrance, the balcony, you know. In a super safe area. Like I'm pretty sure, you know, it's highly secure and there's cameras around here. But look how they preserve the sidewalk. I feel like a little kid here exploring this nice neighborhood. I wonder how they do in the Christmas spirits. Do they decorate the houses here too, you know, like they do in Diker Heights? And look how they cut the grass, you know, on the sidewalk, how they preserve it. And they got a basketball court, you know, I guess when kids get off of school, they play some hoops. Then they got a house, then there should be like a little pedestrian that would take me towards near the highway that I was coming by. Look at this one, it's not too big, but it's actually cute. But now I'm gonna turn back and explore more of this area right here to see what's going on. This is only like a little one block that I explored, but now I gotta go all around to see what else can I find around here. And I gotta tell you, the way how the houses are massive and how the streets are super wide, you know, and deserted, it kind of reminds me like if I'm in some of the nice suburbs in Dallas, Texas, or Houston, like somewhere around here, but this is New York City. And they got like more over that way. But I was coming from that way. Now I'm just gonna make it towards this way and see what else can I find here. Then they got this modern Amazon truck. Wow, here looks pretty nice too. Then here's another street that it goes in curve. What I like about it is that they have the sidewalk so I can walk. You know, because in a lot of suburbs in the States, they don't even have a sidewalk, so they force you to walk in the street. Even some parts of Riverdale and the Bronx near the train station, you're forced to walk in the street, but look at this. It's pretty nice, and it keeps going. Then ahead is like nicer houses with a lot of trees. And this over here is Center Drive, so I don't know if I should go this way or this way. This side has more trees, so I think I'm just gonna make it towards this way. I'm really in love with the sidewalks, how it looks like. Well paved and the grass, you know, nicely cut. Like, look at this, it seems like they renovated the sidewalk. And it seems like it was freshly passed the lawnmower, you know, the lawn over here. But yeah, we are in for a treat. Like I showcase in many of my videos, there's all types of neighborhoods that you're gonna find in New York City, especially Queens, New York. So it's gonna go around, and I think it's gonna do like a little curve. You can see how nice and beautiful the houses are. Look at this house, has this nice gate, and then it's a little bit like a semi-church or lighthouse. Wow. Then more across the street, but this you'll see them in like in many other suburbs. You know, here seems like they're renovating one of the houses. A lot to see here, you know sections and everything, so I think I'm gonna go. I'm just tracing the map to see how can I do my route. Luckily, like I said, it's not really big, but it's actually nice. It's a nice looking house over that way. I'm gonna walk towards this way to see what can I find. Look at these houses over here. Here's gonna get nicer. Wow, look at it. The details that they put in these beautiful houses are actually pretty nice, and the waterfront is ahead of me, so it's gonna be nice over here. And here you see how nice this is. And I love the fact how they have a lot of trees over here, so it really helps out with the community. I'm pretty sure in the fall season when the leaves start changing colors, it must be pretty epic to be around here. Oh wow, look at this one. This is like a modern, the way how they design it with the concrete, it kind of makes it feel like if you're in those suburbs in California, like Beverly Hills or something like that. And this is pretty much typical here in Queens, and if you go to North Jersey, they got nice houses like that. Especially the town of Alpine in New Jersey. They got some massive mansions. Even a lot of rappers from New York, they move over there. Then over there, you got a lot of geese. It's like a family, and you can see the Whitestone Bridge over here. Let me cross the street to show you a better view. That's the Whitestone Bridge, and then across is the Bronx, New York. So two boroughs that connect together, Queens and Bronx over here. So, wow. So you can have an idea what it looks like. It is hot, man. Now it's starting to kick. But what do you expect in summertime? Like I said, it's been like a heat wave for the past 3 days out here. So that's pretty normal out here during the summer season of New York. And this is across the street. Nice looking houses. Let me show you the family of geese out here. Uh-oh, seems like they're coming towards me. I don't think that's a good idea. What's up, geese? You all good? Want to say hi? I guess they're not shy. Most of the times they run away from me here. It's a different story. I gotta watch out here walking around is the geese droppings. They're literally all over the floor. And then there's more over there, but there's actually a sign here that says private property, no trespassing. So I'm gonna assume it's over this way so people don't cross over that way. So it says here, Malba Association property, no trespassing. So over here is Malba Drive, and to my left, not only you get beautiful houses, but it's surrounded by the water. So must be nice, but like I said, those are like private houses, so they probably have a beautiful view of the waterfront out there. Here it keeps going. Look at this house in the corner, wow. How big it is. Got like 3 spaces for parking, probably like 3 cars you can fit in there. Got a basketball hoop right here. Look at this house. Pretty nice, and the way how they maintain the front yard is actually pretty cool. There's another road over there. There goes those famous Tesla. Look at this one. I like the cobblestones of the entrance. Pretty nice. Then ahead of me, there's one that says for sale. I wonder how much these houses cost. It must cost like, I don't know, a couple of millions of dollars. It's a nice area, and like I say, so yeah, for sale right here. This is cool. Then look at this house over here. Wow. It's beautiful, isn't it? And of course, more properties, you know. So they really do a good job of maintaining it, but that's what happens, you know, when people got money. That's how neighborhoods start to look. So it's like literally like a huge contrast. Ahead of me, it should be epic, because you see some of the nice houses, and you see like the arch of the Whitestone Bridge right there. So far I'm the only guy walking around here. Only like near the major highways where I saw some people hanging out, but in this street is just me, and then people, they have their own cars to get around. Look at this house, wow. With its fence and everything. It is so big. How many rooms does this house have? And then it does a detour, and you can see this house surrounded by the Whitestone Bridge. Here they're building another one and renovating it, so it looks cool. Then here's the houses. Parsons Boulevard is right here, and then you got the Whitestone Bridge, and then there's a dead-end road ahead of me. There should be like a private marina over here, so I'm not gonna walk into it, but maybe I'll just see from a distance what it looks like. You know, just the curiosity that I always have. Then look at this house, how futuristic it is. The huge glass, pretty modern. So behind me is an area where they got like boats. I guess they own private boats and jet. And then they just cruise around. Had the huge American flag right there behind me. But now I'm gonna make it towards this other side to continue exploring this beautiful small neighborhood. Now we're gonna check this other angle right here to see what it looks like. I was coming straight from that way. Oh, this is gonna be a big house right here. Wow. Maybe I could get an idea how many rooms it's gonna have, but that is massive. It could be literally like a little mini hotel too. You have a rendering of what it's gonna look like. So different from the other buildings, big and futuristic and modern. Wow. Completion 2025. So I guess in a couple of months it should be ready. It's taking over this whole spot over here. And I'm gonna walk over here. The street gets actually pretty nice, and the highway's right here. So you can see really cool, but we're gonna continue exploring Malba. So I discovered this little park here. It's not really technically a Malba, but this is Whitestone, but it's literally like in the other side of the Whitestone Bridge over here. So that's pretty nice. I even see like a view of the waterfront. I'm not sure if it's gonna give it to me, but also like you see behind me, they got beautiful houses over here too. So I'm just exploring this side over here. It must be really cool. You see, it's pretty nice. I see people that they bring their bikes too. I'm gonna see if there's any other view ahead of me. And they got public restrooms over here. So the name of this park is Francis Lewis Park. And it's like in the borderline of Malba, which is right where you see that highway. Malba's over that way. And here's like a open plaza with a monument. See, you usually see this all over with the flags. But now I'm gonna go down this way, because there's a hill, and you see a view of the waterfront. I'm not sure if people come here and fishing. Oh damn, I actually see people in the waters. I'm not sure if it's clean, but this is what you get here. So we go down the hill, and people get us chill there and do picnic. I see a couple of people, but it's really hot today to be doing that. But you have an idea what I'm talking about. I'm so happy I decided to come down this park, because look what you get here. Even a better view of the bridge right here. So this is literally like a hidden gem. Wow. So it's crazy and it blows my mind. I don't know if you could see it a little bit when I was capturing the view of the bridge. Didn't want to point the camera like directly at them, but it's crazy how there's people in the water there swimming. Like I said, I don't know how clean that water is, but it just doesn't hit the same when you're in the Caribbean or in the Southeast Asian country where the water is crystal clear and pretty clean and white sand beaches. But I guess people try to make the most off of it and have a good time, you know, so as long as they're not hurting anybody, it's all good. But now let's continue our exploration out here. And then, believe it or not, this is another thing that I love about New York City, despite it being a neighborhood like this, you see diversity, like people from all kinds, you know, all background, nationality. Yeah, this is Whitestone, so eventually I'll probably come back to Whitestone and make a video over here. College Point is in the other side of this neighborhood, so there's a couple of neighborhoods around here that I want to explore and make videos about, so maybe I'll push it if the weather cooperates with me. And then look at the mixture of vegetation with the beautiful houses. Gives it like a pretty nice, unique vibe. Like I said, the thing about this neighborhood is isolated, you know. There's no train that gets around here, so the best option, depending where you're coming from, take the train to Flushing, Queens, and then take a bus that drops you to the nearest stop around here, like if we were heading towards College Point. But yeah, I tell you, in the summertime, it's just awesome to explore neighborhoods like this. Gotta tell you, the neighborhood is also kind of giving me a little vibe of Flatbush in Brooklyn. They have streets like this with houses like this and huge, massive, tall trees, you know, like they question you, like, am I really in Brooklyn? Like I said, that's the beauty about New York. You know, no matter where you go, there's neighborhoods that have different type of architecture, even in the Bronx. Look at these houses over here, wow. And the one in the corner looks pretty interesting. This one looks nice. It looks a mixture like a gingerbread house, and then with the bricks that combines it together, there are cameras over there, so that's how you know it's safe and you're being monitored. Having a good time exploring and filming this neighborhood. I even forgot about the heat. It is hot, but like, you know, with the trees, and when you do something that you love, you really don't mind the weather that you're getting because you're just having a blast. There's more over here. All of the houses are pretty nice. Look at this house. Seems like they renovated or it's new. Look at it. Could be perfect for a photo shoot. Look at this house in the corner. Cute. All the triangles and details they have. I think everything here is pretty much worth to look at. Look at this house, orange color. Has a unique design. Now I'm making it in North Drive to see what is going on here. Then I'll make it towards the other side of the neighborhood, and there should be like a little local park and the borderline of College Point, which is another neighborhood out here in Queens, in the northern tip of Flushing. So this is like the other angle of the street. And look how they maintain like the plants in front, like they do work. I'm pretty sure they hire somebody to do it, but whoever does it really does a good job to keep it nice and neat. When I was a kid, I used to be a fan of seeing that. I seen them cutting those plants and having it like in a nice design, a nice organized thing. Like, I don't know, that takes really some skills to do something like that. Even over here, it has a little bit of a hill, the road. They got this one with its front entrance. You know, a lot of houses are probably old, but they really preserve it. I like this one. This one's nice. So North Drive is pretty nice, but I think every single block that I walk here in Malba is being really nice. Like I said, super clean streets, nice sidewalks, the plants that they have in the entrance of the houses. They do a really good job to decorate it and maintain it, you know. And then the details of these mansions and some houses, big houses, they're just pretty nice to look at. As I was walking, there was a guy walking his dog, and he was asking me, like, what am I recording for? And I told him nicely, hey, I'm just making YouTube videos exploring the neighborhood and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I don't mean disrespect, I'm just asking, you know, because they said there's being like, I guess, people that's done bad stuff or robberies and stuff. But, you know, he was really cool about it, and, you know, I was cool too. So, you know, as long as you're respectful and professional and you just talk, you know, to the people nicely, it all ends up pretty well. I think this is where I came by, so now I got to figure my way towards where the park is. So this over here is 11th Avenue. Really cool, you know. But over here, this looks like any other standard suburb that you have. But this over here would take me to College Point and like to a local park that borders with where the Waterfront is. But even over here is pretty nice to look at too. So really cool. I like it so far. And all the houses here, they look pretty much similar. So it seems like I gotta cross the street because there's no way I can make it. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But you know, I'm gonna walk a little forward to see what's going on. Here's the local park with this kind of Exeter Malba. It's called Powell Cove Park. Okay, wow, it has a lot of vegetation and stuff. It closed at 10 o'clock, so you could just walk around here. Wow, crazy, you got it all to yourself. And then the soil and the sand, you know, so. Okay, this is really cool. Oh, there was a squirrel. I got scared, I thought it was a rat. It's like I enter in the middle of a jungle right here in the suburbs. Let me see where this takes me. The way it could take me towards where the waterfront. Literally the only guy over here. But I love it, you know? Love it, let me see. Yeah, so there's no way I can see a lake from a distance, but there's no way I can get close proximity to it. Here it is, you see the lake, and it's really peaceful, and they say in Spanish, tranquilo. And then I'm gonna assume those buildings over there, or the houses, that's College Point. You can even see a little bit of the Bronx at the end. So I think this is gonna be a perfect spot for me to wrap up my video over here in this beautiful neighborhood called Malba in Queens, New York. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.